Hello everyone, my name is David Hennington. I'm a dentist from Austin, Texas, and have been a private solo practitioner in Georgetown, Texas, which is a community in the northern part of the Austin metro area since 1991. I want to welcome you and thank you for participating in the first ever EcoDentistry yoga webinar. And I appreciate the opportunity to share some of my experiences about the benefits that I've received from practicing yoga over the last approximately 15 years, as well as leading you through a sequence that is specifically designed to address some of the problem areas that we as dental professionals face. When I walked into my first yoga class in 1998 with my wife, I really had no expectations. I wish I could tell you that after that first class, the heavens opened, the yoga angels started to sing, and I practiced religiously from that time until today. But in actuality, my yoga journey started very, very slowly with very small steps, like most people's do. I started at first going to a class about every 2 weeks. And then as I started seeing benefits from just going that infrequently, I started learning more about other kinds of yoga, other styles of yoga, found a style of yoga that really spoke to me at that point in my life, and started going once a week to class. Then that started going to twice a week. The more that I went, the more benefits started becoming very apparent to me, both from a psychological and a physical standpoint. Of these benefits, there are several that I think are most relevant to dentists and dental professionals. And as I'm speaking about this, I mean dentists, hygienists, assistants, even front office team members, because we all deal with and face many of the same challenges. First of all, yoga helps increase the strength of our bodies, particularly the strength of the core musculature that is so important in our postural positions and in supporting the rest of the body, as well as increasing flexibility, which can counteract many of the crazy positions that we put our body in every day. These physical benefits can be both therapeutic, helping alleviate symptoms that may have already started to arise, or they can help prevent the onset of many of these type of physical ailments, and in some cases, either slow or prevent the onset completely. Another great benefit of yoga is the increased focus and concentration that it helps bring. We all live crazy, hectic lives, and there are times when it feels like that things are completely out of control. What yoga helps us do is help find that calm in the center of the storm, that evenness of mind that helps us to evaluate these stressful situations objectively and then deal with them effectively. One of the other benefits of yoga that is a little bit more subtle is the awareness that it brings to both physical, mental, and emotional patterns that we may have developed over the years that no longer serve us. Some of these patterns are completely unconscious, and they become so ingrained in our lives that we don't even realize that we're doing them. What yoga helps us do is, one, become aware of these things and help face them more easily, but it also gives us the tools to help transform these things, these habits, these patterns, completely, so that we can reach a level of wellness that we may have only imagined possible previously. As we go through the sequence, I want to give you a couple of tips to make the sequence more readily accessible to you, more easily followed, and also more enjoyable. The most important thing to keep in mind as you're going through the sequence is not the shape that you're putting your body in. It is the quality of the breath. We are looking for a smooth and even breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose whenever possible. Obviously, if you have some physical limitations, such as congestion or anatomical blockages that may require you to breathe through your mouth at times, that's completely fine. But if at all possible, an inhale and exhale through the nose, the inhale and exhale being as close in length as possible. Look at it as a moving meditation. So with each movement of the body, you are synchronizing or coordinating that movement with either an inhale or an exhale. I will cue the breath throughout the sequence. For example, inhale, raise your arms over the head. Exhale, fold forward. But if you do not follow those cues exactly, say for instance, you exhale as you're lifting your arms over the head, that is completely fine. The most important thing is coordinating each movement with either an inhale or an exhale. I also recommend, particularly for beginners, to watch the sequence through one time before you attempt it. The advantage of that is to see some of the poses, to get a sense of the flow and the pace of the class, and then also pick up some pointers and some modifications for some of the poses that may be difficult to process as you're trying to go through the first time and do the sequence at the same time. Also, you'll see us talk a little bit throughout the sequence about using props to help facilitate our movements throughout the sequence. If you have blocks, cushions, straps that you've used for previous yoga sessions, please feel free to use those. If not, don't worry. I would recommend bringing a blanket as well as possibly a couple of small pillows, particularly for the first part of the sequence where we're going to be seated with our legs crossed. For some people, that can be uncomfortable. By having a blanket that you roll up and sit on, it actually raises the level of the hips either equal or above the knees, which helps align the spine more comfortably and helps take stress off the lower back. As I go through the sequence, I'll be cueing the students with the names of different poses. It's not important for you to memorize those names of the poses. The main reason that I'm doing that is to help guide the students through the flow more smoothly, as well as for those people that are just learning about yoga, and this may be their first yoga experience, just hearing some of these terms, so that if you decide that you want to go to a public class or start seeing some more videos online, you will have heard some of these words so that you're not completely lost. The other thing that is very important is to realize that even though I am leading you through this sequence, this is your practice. Yoga is not a no pain, no gain proposition. If at any point in time during this sequence, any of these poses brings discomfort or pain, please find a position that is more comfortable for you. And last but not least, the most important thing, other than the breath, is that yoga is supposed to make you feel good. So don't take it too seriously. Put a little smile on your face before you come to the mat. Relax, Breathe deeply and enjoy. I'm going to be leading you through a relaxation at the very end of the sequence, and I greatly encourage you, please do not skip that part. And the reason is that is the most important pose of the whole sequence. It is at that point, during that relaxation, that all of the positive energy, what yogis call prana, that's been generated throughout the practice, is allowed to integrate both in the physical body and in the mind where it's needed the most. I'll be coming back after the relaxation for a few closing words. So enjoy, and we'll see you soon. So everyone come to the back portion of their mat in a comfortable cross-legged position. Closing the eyes, feel free to place the blanket up underneath your sit bones to raise the hip level to help stabilize the lower back and to improve the alignment of the spine. Place your hands comfortably on the knees or thighs. And just start bringing awareness to the parts of the body that are touching the ground. The feet, the lower legs, maybe the thighs. Bring awareness to that area that's touching the mat or the blanket or the cushion that we're going to refer to as the sit bones throughout the sequence. And you'll hear me refer to that quite often. The anatomical term for that, ischial tuberosities. Isn't that right, Rebecca? Closing the eyes, start bringing awareness to the breath. Inhaling and exhaling smoothly through the nose. The goal is to have the breath, the inhale and exhale, be of equal lengths. If at any point in time during the sequence the breath becomes ragged, forced, or you become fatigued, we're going to talk about what you can do coming to a pose or coming to a position that will allow you to rest and gain control of the breath again, and then pick back up with the sequence whenever you're ready. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose here. Now bring awareness to the lower part of the spine and lengthen through the spine, creating space in between the vertebrae, all the way from the base of the spine all the way to the crown of the head. Tuck the chin back and in slightly. Inhale, raise your shoulders toward the ears. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, raise the shoulders toward the ears again. Exhale, bringing the shoulders back and down. One more time. Inhaling toward the ears. Exhale, bringing the shoulders back and down. And then just letting the shoulders soften in that position. Draw the lower belly in and up toward the spine to help stabilize the low back and the pelvis. Drop your chin toward your chest And then just very slowly shake your head back and forth to start releasing the muscles of the neck. Then raise the chin back to its original position and start shaking your head side to side, bringing your chin toward each shoulder as you do so. Just getting into a little bit different part of the neck here. Pause when you come to center again. Inhale here. Exhale, drop your right ear toward the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop the left ear toward the left shoulder. Now on your own breath, inhaling to center, exhaling, dropping the ear to the shoulder. Just bringing awareness to how different parts of the neck are being engaged here. The shoulders and the neck are areas of our body that really get stressed as we go through our day. So what I found is these neck exercises can be great ways to really relax the neck muscles. And this is something that you can do in your car, sitting at your desk. It can be done in just a couple of minutes and give you a lot of really nice relief of the tightness of the shoulders and the neck. So next time to center, pause. Inhale, raise the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, and then press the palms toward the ceiling. Now, if your shoulders are tight and you can't extend the arms very far, it is completely fine to have your elbows bent here. But try as much as you can to turn those palms toward the ceiling to get a nice stretch in the wrist. Drawing the lower belly in and back toward the spine, breathing deeply. Inhale here, exhale, release the bind, bringing the hands back to the legs. Now extend the legs out in front. Bounce the knees up and down a little bit. Maybe windshield wiper the feet side to side, pedal the feet front to back. If at any point in time, as we're sitting in a cross-legged position, if you feel like that the legs are starting to become sore or uncomfortable, you can always extend the legs. Now, with the legs extended, place the hands on either side of the hips, fingers pointing forward. Walk the hands about a foot or so behind the sit bones, fingers still pointing forward. Draw the lower belly in. Inhale, press the chest forward and up toward the ceiling. Bring the shoulder blades together, raising the gaze slightly if you need to, and then breathing deeply here. Feeling the expansion through the chest area as you inhale, and then feeling that drawing in of the lower belly right at the end of the exhale. On the next exhale, start walking your hands back, forward again, and then cross the legs again. Inhale, arms overhead. Place the right hand or fingertips outside the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the fingertips of the left hand. Exhale, side bend to the right. Now you can place the palm of the hand or the fingertips on the ground, bending the elbow as much as you need to here. Being careful not to let that left sit bone rise up. So ground that sit bone if it feels like that's raising up. And finding a little movement as well to really get into different parts of the side body. Inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, placing the left hand down, side bending to the left. If it feels like that the shoulder is rising up toward the ear, just soften the shoulder, bringing it down and back slightly. Breathing deeply here. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twist to the right as you bring your left hand to the right knee, and the fingertips or the hand, the right hand, back behind you. As you inhale, think of lengthening through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, letting the breath take you into the twist as far as it wants to go. We're still warming the body up here, so don't try to force it, trying to go further into the twist if your body's not ready for it. Inhale, turn back towards center, arms overhead. Exhale, twist to the left. It's possible that the breath could be interfered with, making it more difficult to have a nice, smooth, even breath. But it's very important to breathe deeply into the twist because it enhances the detoxification effect of the twist. Inhale here, exhale, turn back towards center, arms overhead. Inhale here, exhale, lower the arms, extend the legs again. Now you may want to move your cushion or the blanket to the side if you're sitting on anything. Bend the knees and place the hands right behind the knees, balancing on the sit bones. Draw the lower belly in and back, bringing the chest forward. Now, several options here. Option one is to remain here with the hands behind the knees. Option two, extend the arms forward. Option three, the full expression of the posture, straightening the legs. Still bringing the chest forward here, drawing the lower belly in. This really gets into the core here, the core musculature, those really important postural muscles that are so important for us. Inhale here, exhale, lower the feet. Now, over the next couple of breaths, being very mindful of the knees, make your way to all fours. Hands and knees, shoulders directly over the wrist, hips over the knees. Spread the fingers wide so that you are spreading the weight evenly on each hand. If you have wrist issues and this is uncomfortable, an option is to make a fist and then place the top of the fist on the mat to take stress off of the wrist. Inhale here, exhale, drop your sit bones toward your heels, child's pose. So bringing the forehead to the ground. I had mentioned earlier if at any point in time during the practice you become fatigued or the breath becomes ragged or labored or forced, that there was a position to come to gain control of the breath again and then join the sequence. This is that position, child's pose. This is a great restorative position. You can spread the knees as much as you need to here. The wider the knees are spread, the more release in the lower back you get. This is another pose that is a really great one, I feel, to do right before you go to bed. Very restorative, but it also helps really stretch out the lower back that may have gotten tight and overly contracted during the day. On the next inhale, come back to all fours. Draw the lower belly in and up. And on the inhale, drop the belly as you shine the chest forward, raising the chin. Exhale, rounding the back, bringing the chin to the chest. So on your own breath, inhaling, dropping the belly, bringing the chest forward. Exhale, rounding the back. Now this is cat-cow, an excellent sequence to do to really improve and increase flexibility in the spine. This can be a great pose to do either in the morning to warm the spine up, or in the evening just to really work out any kinks that may have developed in the spine during the day. As you notice, the students are going very slow through this whole process. And it's very important as you go through the sequence to move slowly. When you start moving with more speed, you start using momentum more. And that can actually increase the chance of injury. Plus, you're actually getting more out of the sequence if you're moving slowly. You're engaging the muscles more instead of letting momentum do the work for you. The name cat-cow comes from, obviously, the cat when you round the back, the cow bringing the chest forward. After one full round, come back to all fours, neutral position. Now bring awareness to your hands, spreading the fingers wide, gripping the mat with the fingertips just slightly so that the palm of the hand may lift a little bit, creating a little bit of a dome effect. Draw your belly and your rib cage strongly in toward the spine. Tuck the toes of the feet, and then press your hips back and up as you lift the knees off the mat and straighten the legs. Dropping the head, letting the head hang, bringing the gaze in between the feet here. Now start finding some movement in this position or in this pose. This is down dog, a very common pose that you'll see in most yoga sequences. Pedal the feet, move the hips back and forth. Just whatever movement feels good to your body here. Just a few more breaths and then find stillness. And then from down dog, slowly start to walk your feet forward, bending the knees as much as you need to, bringing the feet together in between the hands, and then folding forward, just letting the head hang here. The hands can come wherever is comfortable for your body. You can bend the knees as much as you need to here. You can grasp the opposite elbows with your hands if you want to, just letting your upper body hang. Let the neck relax, maybe shaking the head back and forth just to release the neck muscles. And then finding whatever movement in this pose as well that makes your body feel good as you start opening up the hamstrings, releasing the lower back a little bit more. Now, wherever you are with your hands, inhale and lengthen the spine coming up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Palms touching overhead. Exhale, bringing the palms in front of the heart. Inhale, raising the arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthening halfway. Exhale, stepping the right foot back into a low lunge, and then dropping the right knee to the mat. Now take some time here if you need to. If you need a little bit of a cushion up underneath your knee, feel free to place a blanket or a cushion up underneath that knee. And then also widen the feet as much as you need to help maintain a good balance here. Top of the right foot on the mat, untucking the toes. Place the right palm on the mat inside that left foot. And on the inhale, twist to the left, bringing the left hand to the left thigh as you turn the body to the left. Now, 3 options here. Option 1 is here. Option 2 is bringing the hand to the sacrum to get a little bit more into the twist. Option 3, extending the left arm toward the ceiling, bringing the gaze toward the hand. Also, if you're using a prop, you see Rebecca using the block here very, very effectively. Inhaling and exhaling deeply. Inhale, lengthen through the fingertips. Exhale, lower the hand back on the outside of the foot or the inside, wherever it's comfortable for you. Inhale, rise, placing both palms stacked on top of the left hip. Now start finding some movement here, pressing the hips forward and back, maybe a little bit side to side as well. Just finding those areas in the hips and the pelvis that might be tight or locked up, just working into those areas. We carry a lot of stuff in our hips and our pelvis, and sitting down all day really adds to that. So just finding a little movement here wherever it feels good to you. After one more full breath, coming back to the left knee being right over the left ankle. Inhale, bring your arms into cactus arms or goalpost arms. Exhale here. Inhale, spread the elbows a little wider as you shine the chest forward and up toward the ceiling, maybe lifting your gaze slightly. And now press the hips forward, bringing that knee of the left leg slightly past the ankle. Being very careful here if you feel any kind of pain or discomfort, back out of this, pressing the hips forward. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the hands down to the mat. Tuck the toes of the right foot, lifting that back knee. Shift your weight forward as you lift the right foot, bringing the right foot to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, stepping back with the left leg into a low lunge, then dropping that left knee. Top of the left foot on the mat, taking a couple of breaths to establish your foundation here, placing the blanket or a cushion underneath your knee as you need to. Then once that foundation is established, placing the left palm on the mat and the right hand on the right thigh. Inhale here, exhale, twisting to the right. You can stay here, bringing the hand to the sacrum or extending it toward the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen through the fingertips. Exhale, come out of the twist, bringing the right hand to the mat. Inhale, rise, bringing both hands stacked on top of that right thigh. Now, once again, start finding a little movement on this side. Noticing how this side may feel a little bit different than the other side. That is completely normal. Because we put ourselves in so many asymmetrical positions during the day, it is not unusual at all for one side to feel completely different than the other. So just find and bring awareness to where that might be a little bit different. Now, after one more breath, bringing the right knee back over the right ankle. Inhale, bringing the arms into cactus arms. Exhaling here. Inhaling, shining the chest forward as you bring the shoulder blades together, lifting the gaze, and then pressing the hips forward slightly. Just breathing deeply. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the hands. Tuck the toes of the left foot, lifting the left knee, and then shift the weight forward, bringing the left foot to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, softening the knees as much as you need to as you rise all the way, bringing the palms together overhead and pause. Now, if it feels like that your shoulders are coming up toward the ears, try to soften the shoulders down the back slightly. And if the feet are together, you may want to spread the feet a few inches, about hip width apart. Now, inhale here, exhale, side bend to the right. And then after you get to this side bend position, find a little movement, maybe front to back, maybe back and forth, side to side a little bit, just to try to really work into different parts of the side body. Nice, everyone. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Once again, finding a little movement here. Breathing deeply. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend the knees as much as you need to step back into a low lunge again, but keep that right knee off the ground this time. So you're in a low lunge, hands on either side of that left foot, or for some people, just the way you're put together, it may be more comfortable to have the hands inside the foot. So your choice here. Now bring your gaze to the right foot. Turn the toes of the right foot out to the right slightly as you ground the sole of the right foot, being very careful to keep the direction of the toes and the direction of the knee the same. So pointing the knee in the same direction as the toe so there's not too much torque on the knee. Keeping the front leg bent, on the inhale, windmill your arms up, Warrior Two. So this is Warrior Two position, another common position you'll see in most yoga classes. Palms can be either down or up. Sometimes turning the palms up can give you a little bit of relief in the shoulders. Inhale here. Exhale, bring the left forearm to the left thigh Extend the left arm either alongside the ear toward the front of the mat or directly overhead toward the ceiling. Your choice here. Being careful not to collapse into this left leg too much. So push off with your forearm if you feel like you're collapsing here into the left side. Inhale here, exhale back to Warrior Two. Now place the right hand on the right thigh, turn the palm of the left hand up, and then just sweep that arm back, bringing the gaze to the hand, Peaceful Warrior. Breathing deeply here, feeling the whole upper body expanding in 3 dimensions with each inhale. Inhale, extend through the fingertips. Exhale, Warrior Two. Now with the arm still in a T, turn the toes of the left foot parallel with toes of the right. Inhale here. Exhale, fold forward, bringing fingertips or hands to the ground. Softening the knees as much as you need to here. Letting the head hang. Hand position your choice. You can see some of the students, Rebecca's got hers several feet out in front. Others have the hands or the fingers even with the toes. You can even grasp each foot or your ankles if you want to as well. Inhale here. On the next exhale, start walking your hands back toward the front of the mat, back into your low lunge. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head here, and then exhale, lifting that right quadriceps. Now on the next inhale, lift the right foot, bringing it to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen all the way up, palms touching. Exhale, palms in front of the sternum. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bending the knees enough to place the hands on the ground, stepping the left foot back into a low lunge. Left knee lifted. Engage that left quadriceps to help lift and straighten that back leg. Now, once again, bring your gaze to your left foot as you turn the left toes out slightly, placing the sole of the foot on the mat. Inhale, windmilling the arms up, Warrior Two. Opening across the inner thighs here, rotating the thighs outward. Tucking or drawing the lower belly in, tucking the tailbone slightly. Inhale here, exhale, right forearm to right thigh, bringing the arm forward by the ear or straight overhead. Breathing deeply. Inhale here, exhale, Warrior Two. Now place the left hand on the left thigh, turn the palm of the right hand toward the ceiling and sweep it back, Peaceful Warrior. Inhale here, extending through the fingertips. Exhale, Warrior Two. Now turn the toes of the right foot in parallel with the left. This time, bringing the hands to the sacrum. Now, option 1 is to keep the hands on the sacrum as you fold forward. Option 2 is to interlace the fingers. On the inhale, straightening the arms, bringing the hands down and back, bringing the chest forward, shoulder blades together, drawing that lower belly in as you fold forward. Bringing the arms overhead as far as they can comfortably come. Not trying to force this, but this is a really great way to open the shoulders up here. Another modification is to do something similar to what Rebecca's doing here. Just hand position is your option here. Whatever feels good. Nice, everyone. Breathing deeply. Inhale here. Exhale, rise. Inhale here. Exhale, fold forward again. Now, if you have the hands in the bind here, undo the bind of the fingers, bringing the hands to the mat, and then walk your hands back toward the front of the mat into your low lunge. Inhale, lift the left foot, bring it to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway again, bending the knees as much as you need to place the palms on the mat and step both feet back into plank pose. Once into plank pose, drop the knees to the mat, top of the feet on the mat, and then drop the chest all the way down to the mat. Hands on either side of the rib cage here. Elbows pressed in slightly toward each other, not uncomfortably against the sides, but just slightly toward each other. Chin or forehead resting lightly. Now press the pelvis and the upper thighs into the mat as you draw the lower belly in toward the spine and lengthen the tailbone toward the heels. On the inhale, lift the chest off of the mat, bringing the shoulders down and back and moving the shoulder blades toward each other. Cobra. Breathing deeply here. Lengthening through the crown of the head. If you feel any pinching in the lower back, come out of that just slightly, lowering your chest. Now inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, lower, bringing one cheek to the mat. Bringing the hands extended along the side of the body, palms facing upward. Now bring the chin or the forehead to touch lightly on the mat again. Pelvis, upper thighs pressing into the mat. Lower belly drawn in. Inhale, raising the chest off of the mat. The chin is still tucked in and back slightly, so you're not putting too much stress in the cervical area here. Palms toward the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, lower, opposite cheek to the mat. Now this series that we're going through now, locust pose is a great strengthener of the lower back, as well as allowing you to open across the chest. But it's a fantastic strengthener of the lower back. Now bring the forehead or the chin to the mat again. Press the pelvis into the mat. Lengthen the tailbone as you draw the lower belly in. Inhale, lift the chest off the mat. And your option here, you can either stay here, or if you want a little bit more challenge, lifting the arms, palms facing each other, or possibly even lifting the legs. Shoulders down and back, shoulder blades drawing in toward each other, shining that sternum forward. Breathing deeply. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, lower. Opposite cheek to the mat. Now rock your hips back and forth a little bit here to release the lower back. You maybe want to bend the knees, bringing the heels toward the sit bones, and then rocking back and forth a little bit to release the lower back. Now bring the palms to either side of the rib cage again. And on the inhale, press through the palms up, knees still on the ground, and then drop the sit bones to the heel, child's pose. Bringing the forehead to the ground. Once again, spreading the knees as wide as you need to here. Noticing how this child's pose is probably feeling a little bit different than the one you did earlier in the sequence. As you breathe here, really bring awareness to the back body. Breathe deeply enough to be able to feel that expansion in the back body here, bringing that breath all the way down into the lower back area. Also see if you can feel that expansion in the side body as well. So feeling that three-dimensional change of the upper body as you breathe. You know, breathing deeply like this is like getting a shot of oxygen. Rise as you walk your hands back toward the knees, bringing the knees together, and then dropping the hips to one side, swinging the legs around to extend out in front, bringing the palms to either side of the hips, tucking the chin slightly, bringing the gaze either to the belly or to the thighs. Draw the lower belly in and up. Toes back toward the body, pressing down through the palms to help lengthen the spine. This is an active pose here. We're not just hanging out, so it's a very active pose. All the muscles are very engaged here. Now on the next inhale, walk the hands back about a foot again. Elbows are not splayed out here. It's okay to have the elbows bent, but you don't want them splayed out. Fingers pointing toward the front of the mat. And just like we did earlier, inhale and puff the chest forward as you draw the lower belly in, raising the gaze. Imagine trying to touch your chest to the ceiling here. So really bringing that chest up, and as you do that, you'll feel the shoulder blades really start coming in toward each other. Nice, everyone. Inhale here, exhale, walk the hands back forward to either side of the hips. Bring the legs apart. And place the palms in between the legs. Now inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head here. And on the exhale, fold forward as far as you can while still keeping that extension in the spine through the crown of the head. So tucking the chin back slightly. So this may be as far as you go. If you're more flexible, you may be able to walk the hands out further, maybe even coming down to the forearms, or maybe even being able to extend your arms all the way out forward. So you can see all the different modifications here. So most of the fold is not by rounding the back, but keeping that spine extended through the crown of the head and then folding, hinging at the waist. Gaze toward the mat in between the hands if you can, or depending on where you are in the forward fold, just bringing your gaze to one point of concentration. Inhale, start walking the hands back. And then exhale, bring the feet back together. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Now on this forward fold, it's perfectly fine to round the back slightly. It's also fine to bend the knees as much as you need to here. We want this to be a very restorative forward fold. So make this feel really good. That means rounding the back, that's fine. Just don't round the back so much that it restricts the breath in any way. Forward folds like this are very restorative poses, and they really kick in the parasympathetic nervous system. That's why they're really good poses to do right before you go to bed, because it really brings on the relaxation response. Inhale, rise as you walk your hands back up your thighs. And then extend the arms out in front, palms toward each other. Draw the lower belly in. And now round the back, similar to what you were doing in that cat of cat-cow. So really engaging the abdominal area, the core area here. And then as slowly as you can, start lowering the back toward the mat. Still maintaining that rounding of the back so that the core is engaged the whole way. If you want a little bit of extra challenge, as you start getting toward the mat, you can even raise the feet and pause and breathe deeply. Or you can just go ahead and lower all the way down. And then slowly but surely make your way all the way to your back. And then take several breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Maybe exhaling through the mouth just to release any tension that maybe have built up. Here's your chance, Paul. Now, on the next inhale, bring the knees toward the chest, wrapping the arms around the knees or the shins, rocking the hips back and forth slightly to release the lower back. Now release the knees, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat about hip width apart, a foot or so in front of the sit bones, hands extended alongside the body, palms down. Being careful not to let the knees splay out. Draw the lower belly in, and as you inhale, lift the hips, pressing down through the soles of the feet. Then exhale, lower. So in your own breath, inhaling, lifting the hips, pressing down through the soles of the feet, using the palms as well as a stabilizing effect. Moving slowly, moving mindfully, moving with attention not only to the movement, but to the breath as well. And then next time you raise the hips, hold them there and pause. Making sure the knees aren't splaying outward. Inhale here, exhale, lower all the way down. Now bring the knees back to the chest, wrapping the arms around the legs, rocking back and forth side to side. Now with the knees still toward the chest, bring your arms to either side of the body, either in a T or in cactus arms again, being mindful of your neighbor. Inhale here and exhale, drop the knees toward the right as you bring your gaze to the left. If you feel that left shoulder rising off the mat, try to ground that left shoulder. You can keep your legs in this position with the legs bent and the knees together, or if you want to separate the knees, you can. If you want a little bit more into the twist, you can even straighten the top leg or straighten both legs. So your choice here. As you breathe, feel that side body expanding here. It's a really good position to bring attention to the breath, really getting into that side body. On the next inhale, bring your knees back towards your chest, still keeping the arms in the same position. And exhale, drop the knees to the opposite side. Once again, your option here on the legs. Inhale, breathing the knees back to center. Wrapping the arms around the legs one more time. Rocking back and forth, side to side. Now release the legs, bringing the soles of the feet together and letting the knees fall open like the pages of a book. You can have the heels as close to the sit bones as is comfortable for you. So for some that may mean that the heels are right up against the sit bones. For some that may mean they're further out in front of the body. So whatever feels good. Excellent. An option here is what Rebecca is doing as well. If you want support for the legs, either with a block, a pillow, a cushion, whatever is comfortable for you here, and let gravity work for you here. Don't try to force the knees toward the floor. Just relax and breathe deeply. On the next inhale, extend the legs out in front. Letting the feet fall toward the outside of the mat, bringing the arms extended alongside the body, palms facing up. Now on your next inhale, inhale deeply through the nose and hold the breath. Now exhale through the mouth. Inhale deeply through the nose again and pause. And now try to sip in just a little bit more air through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Now one more time, inhaling deeply through the nose, pausing, sipping a little bit more in, and then exhaling with a sigh. Now let your body just relax completely. Imagine that it's liquid and it's just flowing all over the mat. Releasing control of the breath here and just relaxing as completely as possible. This is the most important pose of the whole sequence. This is where all the positive energy that you've generated works its magic, integrates into the areas of the body, into the mind that need it the most. Bless you. Now slowly start bringing awareness back to the breath while remaining as motionless and still as possible for just a little longer. Just feeling the inhale and exhale, feeling the chest rise and fall. Now start bringing some small movements into the body. Wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingertips, circling the feet around the ankles, hands around the wrist one way, then the other. Coming out of the relaxation very, very slowly, still keeping the eyes closed to maintain that inward focus, that inward awareness. Maybe extending the arms overhead, pointing the toes, and just getting a nice full body stretch. And now at your own pace, with your eyes still closed, bring one knee, then the other toward the chest, wrapping the arms around the legs, rocking back and forth, side to side. And then with the eyes still closed, working your way back to a comfortable cross-legged position, bringing your cushion or your blanket from the side of your mat to sit on if you need to. You can see the different ways people are doing it here, either rocking and rolling several times along the spine, or dropping the knees to one side and then using the arms to help you push up. Bringing the hands in front of the heart, palms touching. Back of the thumbs lightly touching the chest. Now just take a couple of breaths to just do a quick check of the body and the mind. No judgment, just observing. Dropping the chin toward the chest, bowing the head in gratitude. And honoring each other by saying namaste. Thanks, everyone. Good job. Hello again, everyone. I hope you found that sequence to be accessible, enjoyable, and that it brought on a sense of calm and well-being that a consistent yoga practice can bring to every aspect of your life. I want to encourage any feedback that you may have concerning the sequence. Our goal is to bring this information to you in a way that's relevant to you. And our hope is to eventually create a series of these yoga-related webinars to bring in more aspects of yoga, including meditation. If you want to learn more about yoga after taking this sequence, I encourage you to look for the different resources in your area. If there aren't any yoga studios in your immediate area, there is a lot of really great information online, as well as other yoga videos online as well. If you have any questions about yoga, I am more than happy to discuss any of those with you, or to discuss any yoga-related topics as well. Please feel free to contact me. You can get my contact information through the Eco Dentistry Association, and as I said, I'll be happy to discuss any yoga-related topics that you may have. My recommendation would be, if you want to try to do a little bit every day, pick 2 or 3 poses. Put them together any way you want to. Play around with it a little bit. Have some fun with it. And maybe that means you only practice 5 minutes a day, maybe 10, maybe 15. That's okay. Believe me, practicing that short amount of time consistently will bring positive benefits. I want to thank the students that helped participate in this sequence. I want to thank Yoga Yoga here in Austin for the facility. And I want to thank the Eco Dentistry Association for the opportunity to bring this information to you. Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you again in the future.